Hello! Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be doing something different. I know that I have been working on doing the terrain stuff for Legend of Alex, but today we're actually going to be working on my Baroque stuff. The number one reason that we're working on this is because, well, you see, I've released this lovely screenshot, like last month, and I haven't touched my Baroque world at all in that entire time. So this is in some ways forcing me to actually work on stuff in here. Yes, this looks pretty, but that's like all I've got right now. So yeah, today I'm just going to be actually trying to plot out my floor plan and building on it, coming up with more designs, maybe making more statues, that kind of thing. And hopefully you guys enjoy watching me. So yeah, let's go. Yeah, I was honestly debating whether I should do this stream today or not, partially because I have like 10 other things that I'm also trying to work on, and Silksong got released this week, so I have a new game to play as well. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm trying to map out where the edges of my oval are, so that way I can select it and paste it somewhere else that doesn't have all my wool lines underneath it. But yeah, Silksong got released, so I've been trying to play that. And I could have done a stream of playing Silksong, but I really doubt anybody would want to watch it, because there's about 1,000,001 streams out there that are made by players much better than I. So is that reaching? No, we're one block out. Okay, right there, that's the one. That's my corner. I should make this. I usually make my corners out of diamond blocks, so let me go ahead and put that there instead, just so that way. Hang on, messing with some settings so I can actually see what's going on. Alright, so that's one corner. Now to get to my other corner of my oval. Yeah, unfortunately the beginning of this stream here is going to be a little bit boring, just because I'm going to be laying out the floor plan. And I don't want to do a full... Oop, that's way off. Back it up a little. I don't want to do a full building per se. I probably, I hate to say it, but I don't want to make an entire Baroque building. It's going to take me ages just to do one little room. So I'm probably going to make this a relatively small Baroque building, and it's going to have a front facade. I'm not going to finish the back. I'm going to pull a green and just make a front facade and an interior, and it's going to be beautiful, and I'm going to get oohs and ahs, and nobody's going to wander around the back and see how little I do in the back, because I don't want to have to do the entire building. But I need to still lay out my floor plan here, so that's what we're doing. Yep, I got that. I think I have the entirety of my oval there. You know, what would be smarter to do instead of guesstimating is actually to pull up my coordinates here. Let's see here. So that is at... Okay, so that's the X that's changing, so -91. And you are -91, huzzah. Let me just snag that. Oh, and I should check over here as well. So 180, what was that? Oh, I have it written in the things, -180, yeah, okay, we're good there. And then, should I do this edge first? Yeah, this edge. What are you? -128. Oh, I was looking at the wrong... That's way off if that was the case. No, you're 77. Okay. And you are 77. Huzzah. And then middle of you. -76. -77. Oop. There. Haha. There, and that is why we check coordinates, because otherwise Shells is stupid and doesn't get things right. Okay, now that I've got that copied, I don't know, should I put it further that way, or should I put the finished build that way? That way seems more empty, so actually I should probably copy it from this side. And copy. And paste. Yeah, so part of what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to make sure that I am not only making a pretty build, but I'm also trying to lay it out on the actual world in a way that will make it more interesting for people who get the world download, where they'll be able to see some of my thought process. Currently, what I have here, just to break it down for you, is I have a color palette here, which Baroque and Rococo tend to be very pastel color schemes, which is why I've got a lot of the beige and pink colors. And then I really, really wanted more of this jade sort of coloring here. Some of these colors I'm going to be using for the art murals that are going to be on the wall and such, but I won't use them for the main build necessarily. So really my main color schemes that we're looking at is this pink and some of this, the teal and the greens here, and that's going to be the bulk of my coloring for everything. And of course gold. Lots and lots of gold, because that's pretty much a staple of anything Baroque and Rococo, is everything is gilded to some degree or another. And then over here what I've got is trying to show how to make a perfect oval. And since you're on stream here, you get to watch me do this a couple of times, albeit probably on smaller scales than what I've got here. And something you can't see is I've also got up on my side screen over here, I've got some of my reference pictures. So the main reference picture I'm actually using is from the Basilica of the 14 Holy Helpers, and it's technically Rococo, but Rococo is just late Baroque, and so that's the main reference that I'm going for, and then the rest of it is just other various Baroque buildings that I'm going to also use. I'm worried that I didn't push this far enough away, because I want to be able to put in the main area and then circle, 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 and that's going to be the bulk of my build here. So I'm actually going to undo that, and I'm going to come out further because I want to also leave enough room for my front facade here. Why is that there? I hit undo, but now I have a floating diamond block. I'm not sure why. Yeah, so let's maybe put this... You know, the other thing I could do is turn it 90 degrees and build that way with it, so that way, you know, everything lines up that way-ish. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. So, rotate 90, and we're gonna sit. I want to give enough room to have not just the main front facade, but I also want to put a little courtyard in the front to prove a point, but I can move the main building later if that becomes the case. Alright. Base. Well, for one thing, I apparently needed to rotate it -90. And then I forgot to stand on top of a block. Boink. That's much better. Alright. Although, that's not quite centered, is it? It doesn't matter. Alright, so I have one oval, yes, but what about two ovals? No, I think I'm going to do, so looking at the floor plan that I wanted to do, they do have 3 ovals, one really big one and 2 on either side, so maybe I will do that. Yeah, at least I'll have this big main one, and then I'll put another one up over here. That's what we're gonna do. And I'm very bad at measuring stuff, so let me just, oh, I need to figure out a way to have my reference pictures up and have my stream up, so that way if any of you talk to me, I can actually see you. Sorry, changing stuff. Yeah. Okay. Good enough. Yes. Alright. So now I need to make another oval. I'm going to do the same process that I did over there, but I'm going to do it really small. But I want to make sure that I... Hello, Lai! Thanks for joining us. I want to make sure that I have my exact blue lines here, so that way, and I can count exactly how big it was. How big was this oval? I seem to have forgotten. Let me just really quick go from one end to the other and see how ginormous this oval is. And it is that's 169 blocks. That's really big. I do not want another oval that is that big, so I'm just gonna snag some of these wool colors here because I'm gonna want to use them. Yeah. I mean, I could just pull these out of the inventory, but you know. Alright. So I don't stick out on either side, do I? No, I don't. So 169 was the one. If I do half of that, would be, you know, around 85 blocks? Yes. No? Yes. Yes. So... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 20. You know, it would be easier to just kind of grab this and make a big line going this way and figure out from there. Are you wide enough? Nope. Not quite. 87. Very close. Alright. Boink. Although, because I'm actually technically starting with that as the edge, because I don't want them to be one next to each other, I want them to overlap a little bit. That's going to be the 85, in which case we're moving this over by 1. Doink. Alright, so now we are making circles from there to there, and where is my middle block? 85 divided by half is... Hello, Iona Langu. Hello, welcome to the stream. Sorry if I butchered your name. Wait. Oh, that's because I'm up by 1. Okay, so half of 85 is 42.5. So 42 is what I'm looking for. dip, dip, dip. There. So 42 means that that one is the center block. So, doink. Hooray! And I'm actually going to draw out this line now. Thanks for coming, everybody. Sometimes I'm amazed that anybody comes to these. I'm not doing anything special, I'm just playing Minecraft. Alright, we're gonna make ovals now. So I need to make 2 circles. One there and one there. Let me find the center points for those 2 circles. 42 divided by... Oh no, I'm gonna end up with 2 middle points for these little circles, aren't I? I hate it when that happens. No, this is not a build for the Zelda map. This one is actually for my next architecture building tutorial. I'm going to be building a Baroque. It's not quite an 8, though I guess it is 2 ovals stacked on top of each other, but there will also be a circle there and a circle there, and that will be the entirety of my build, because I do not want to build an entire Baroque palace, so I'm just going to make, like, one room and be like, haha, pretty, it's done. Alright. Let's see here. These 2 are going to have the problem where it's... I almost wonder if I need to bump it either a little bit bigger or just a little bit smaller. Yeah, Oh, hi Ari! Welcome to welcome to the stream. Yeah, I do not want to build an entire palace. Let me think about this, because we're at... If I were to take this and move it by 1... Move... Actually... No, not that one. Just the other one. I'm smart. And then I move this center point by 1... Move. Actually, do I want it to be bigger or do I want it to be smaller? Because I'm kind of sick of big ovals. I can do that big oval, but I don't want to have to do another one. So maybe let's make it smaller and hope I'm not shooting myself in the foot by doing so. So maybe move 2 that way. That didn't do anything. Why didn't it do anything? I'm a little out of sorts today. I apologize if I make really stupid mistakes. I'm doing the best I can, okay? Alright. So moving that center point over so that way that can be even. So this will be there instead, and then the end of this would be moved over by 2. Right? That 2, that is 41, and that 2, that 43? Why are you 43? No! Why? What have I done wrong? Okay. That just means I have to move it over by 1 more? Just 1 more? Maybe? Let's try it. Alright, I don't want to have to be precise. Position 2. Yeah, move it. I hate to say it, but all of this, like, laying out and counting and making things precise is tedious as heck. But it's honestly really, really important when you're laying out these builds, so that way you don't end up having things that don't line up quite right, and then you have to, like, rebuild parts of your big build later on down the road. So, doing all of this right now is the best thing you can do, which is why I'm trying to be really meticulous about this. The nice thing about World Edit is the fact that I can just, like, count blocks by selecting one side to the other side. That's 42. That's still not what I want it to be, is it? Because then that one is still 41. So I actually need to move that over one more. It would actually be easier since my selection is there. I'm going to just undo it and then do a move 2. Apparently I selected that red bit there too. Okay, presumably this should all be better now. Okay, here to here. 43. I selected this right? I clearly did not. What have I done? This thing to this thing. I'm so confused. I'm sorry. Did I accidentally select something else in that time? Move your butt over by 2. Okay. That one, 41. Hooray. And this one, 41. Hooray! We did it, guys. It only took me way too long. Alright, I need to mark out my center point of these guys, and I think I'm gonna use the green for that. So we need it to be at the 21. See here. I'm counting out from, yeah, there. 21 is away from that. Correct? Yes, correct. Alright, so that's the center point there. So now I just need to do the same thing over here. Oop. There. 21. Hooray! Kassar says, hi, I love your interiors, especially the huge interiors. Yeah, honestly, I'm really, it bothers me when people build really tiny builds, and I see a lot of this a lot, when people are like, well, my build is, accurate to, 1 block equals 1 meter. Honestly, I think that was a poor choice. If I were to redo Minecraft, I would probably make the player size just a little bit larger, and have it so that way the blocks are just a little bit smaller compared to the player, because 1 block should not be a meter tall. So that's why all of my builds end up really, really super huge. And actually Ari was with me at one point. We were debating taking my Legend of Alex map and increasing the size of the player by like 1.5, so that way they were just a little bit bigger than normal. But it would mean having to change a bunch of doors and stuff. And it's doable, and I might still end up doing it, but it'll be a pain in the butt. Anyway, we have to make circles! Circle time! So from here, I need to count out the 21 blocks going this way. Haha. Alright. So now I need to actually start making my curve for a circle going right here. So, and you, At this point you've seen my video about how I do circles. They're still very imperfect, but it lets me build them quicker, where I do a lot of guess and check here. So I'm gonna say that's 5 is probably too much. We're gonna say it pops out by 3. Oh, that wasn't 5, it was just by 4, but 3 is a good starting spot. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Oops. And then, is that enough to connect it up? Alright, let's back up and see how messed up that is. Actually, maybe 3 out was the right way to go, because that doesn't look right. It's too... got some pointed triangles going on here. Not dot triangles, pointed diamond shape things. Yes. It's wrong. Let's go with that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then 1, 1, 2. And then connect it. Something bad happened. Uh-oh. 1, 2, how did that happen? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. What have I done wrong? Something bad happened. Oh, no, I did it over here too. Just double checking. Yep, that is the correct block. It is at the right spot. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Let's start with that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Yeah, they connect. Perfect. Alright. It's still wrong. Okay. Alright. Still needs to come out by another 3, I think, at the beginning here, and then we could do the 1, 2, 1, 2. And then the 1, 1, 2. Oop. And then they meet cleanly right there. Aha! That's much better. That's a circle. Cool. Yeah, alright. Sometimes it takes me longer to build circles than others, I'll admit. Once I have a base for one, I'm usually a lot faster at it. Yeah, I already have that one selected. Go over to here and just select it. Guppy! Rotate 90. Paste minus air. Do that more times. Cool. Do it over here now. Thought there might be one more that I was missing, but haha! 2 circles! Alright. And now for the tricky parts. Let me quickly, I think I know how to do this, but I'm going to stare at my, oops, that was survival mode. I meant to go into spectator mode so that way I can go fast. Whee! red eyes are really surprised. The big giant eyeball things. It does kind of almost make a little bit of an owl shape, you know, with the eyes and the head, and then the blue part's almost like a little beak there. But this is the most accurate way I could find to make a proper oval shape and be sure that I'm doing it correct. So that's why I'm going with that. Although, hang on, let me look at my floor plan thing real quick. Okay, yeah, it is smaller there. I see what it's doing. Okay. Yeah, I am looking at a floor plan for the basilica I'm using as a reference, and I'm just kind of copying and pasting it because honestly that's the best thing you could do at some points is, you know, it's I'm mostly just trying to get the general shapes down, and then I can build from there, and then I don't have to worry so much about stuff. Anyway, the next step is to find that point. Yep. Okay. Alright. So, I forget what blocks I was using to get these points, but we're gonna use yellow. From here to here should be the 41 blocks. So we have to actually go down 41 from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't want to have to count that. It's going to end up somewhere down right here-ish. Let me use that. Oh, my comments section went away because I clicked on my reference picture. I know it looks like a geometry math equation, and honestly that's where a lot of architecture is. In my mind, architecture is like math meets art. It is a fine mix of the two of those. Now, I tend to be kind of bad at the math side of things. I'm not horrible at math, but I'm not good at it either. But, so that's where I tend to err on the good enough a lot of the times. But, for when I'm doing some of these tutorial buildings, it's just like, I really should double check and make sure I have everything, correct. So that way it's, you know, feels a little bit better. Alright, now the next thing I have to do is I have to pretend that this is the center of my of another circle. And this are the edges, so I have to draw a circle segment going from there to there. And this might seem crazy, putting a circle out here, but I'll show you why we're doing this in just a second. So I'm going to make this one, I think I made it pink, the other one. So we get to do a lot more guess and check. Yay! This one's definitely going to start out with 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least. At least 5, I should say. You know, not, this is definitely 5. It's at least 5. It's going to be much bigger than the other circles. So I'm just going to do a 5, and then a 4, and then a 3, and then probably a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And see where that takes me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. I suppose I could do a 1, 2, 3 and then a 1, 2. That would probably look better. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, and then a 1, 2, and then a 1, 2. 2. And then, let's see, then I get into the 1, 1, 2s a little bit fast. That's not the worst. Okay. So 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, probably another 1, 1, 1, 2, and then a straight shot and see how that looks. Hey! I think that's pretty decent, actually. Yeah! And now, all of that was just to find this one point on this blue line, and it has no other significance and can go away. Doink! That's all we needed that circle for. But I wanted to make sure it was accurate, so this pink line can go die now. Goodbye, pink line. Yeah. That's why I made it in pink, because it can be ignored. I don't care about it that much. And I think I can get rid of that yellow one as well. Because now we get to do actual math. Alright. I think. Real quick, I'm going to run back to my mobile just to make sure I'm doing this right. Because, knowing me, I've got it wrong somehow. Yeah. So then, yeah, I need to draw a diagonal line from there to there. Okay. And where it meets. Okay. It makes you want to play Minecraft again? Oh, good. I'm glad me drawing random circles and counting lots is making you want to play again. Oh, I'm in spectator mode. Alright. Yeah, so now what I need to do is I'm going to make another pink line. I might make it one up in the air so that way it actually, wait, I can just do a mask of air. Never mind, we're good. Select from there to there. I'm going to temporarily put on a G mask of air so that way it... Sorry, I'm making a G mask of Ari. You're a G mask now, Ari. Okay, yep. So, and then I'm just going to make a line between those two. I should make a line of actual blocks instead of just nothing. Boink. Alright, and now we see if this has any pattern to it at all. In which case, yes it does. So it has a pattern of 3 2s and then a 1. 3 2... it breaks the pattern there. And this is why I like to... Yes, you are a G-mask now, Ari. Alright, now I'm gonna turn you off with a G-mask. You're no longer a G-mask, Ari. So, I like the 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1, but it's messed up over there. And let's see if I can keep the pattern going and see if it applies. It's not going to apply, is it? Right? 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1. It does technically still apply, so I'm going to count it. Is there a better way to do that, though? So if I started on, like, the 1... See, this is where I get kind of really weird about these, is I tend to look at, you know, yes, it technically drew a straight line, but I want it to make a repeating pattern that makes sense to me, and so I end up tweaking it until I'm happy with it. So if I instead do this as the start of the pattern, where that's at the 1 point, so 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 1 2, then it doesn't actually line up. I kind of saw that coming, not gonna lie. So let's do it the other way instead. 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3. Ah, it doesn't line up still. Okay. I'm sorry that I've lost you. This is my fault. Um, this is why I will have an actual proper tutorial video in the future. This is me dinking with stuff, and then I'll explain it more properly later. Basically, I need to get a line going from there to there, and the reason I want it to be a repeating pattern that's at a decent spot is just because here, I might even just delete this and redo that line command because I screwed it up. I need to basically keep following that pattern until it reaches there, and I like having it on a repeating pattern that I can tell what it is. And then when I do these line commands, they tend to, they work, but they don't always make nice repeating patterns for me to follow. I think I liked doing just leading from here and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, because that one is still part of the repeating pattern, and all I have to do is keep going with that. So knowing that that's a one, the pattern of 2, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, and that tells me that that is the mark I need on the actual big circle itself, and I need to do that over there as well, and then also mirror it. Yeah, people. So wool is good for laying out your basics at the beginning, just because it's easier to differentiate colors. They're very bright colors, and you can tell things. And a lot of people will do it to visually tell what they're doing easier. I'm actually doing a little bit of math because I want my oval to be correct. And so it's a bit different, but it's alright. So now I'm going to copy this. I'm going to delete this yellow line because I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to stand here, copy it, flip, paste, because I do need it over there as well. And then I'm going to grab all of it and paste it over onto the other side. I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. Technically, I should actually select the entire area and then copy it from the center point over here and then flip it. Yep, that's what we're doing. I don't want to snag anything underneath, so I have to make sure that it's up here, but I have to make sure I'm encapsulating the entirety of it. That should be good. It doesn't matter if I get anything up above, so I can just kind of float in the air and get the grand scope of it. Position 2. Copy. Oh, no, I don't want to copy from there. What am I doing? I need to stand at the center point first. Copy. Flip. And then paste minus air, so that way it's not splatting in air. And then we get the shape we need. Ta-da! Alright, we've got our diamond shape, and then from here we need to do a little bit of actual math. So, anybody know how to find the hypotenuse of a triangle? See if I get any comments that tell me what it is, because I already know, but... How much math do you remember? So we have a right triangle going from here up to there, over to there. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to find what this hypotenuse is. No takers in chat? Well, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I actually have to count so we know that this... there it is, Ari. Yeah, so that's 35. So 35 squared. Oh, I shouldn't write on that one. That one's an important note. Sticky note. I have a big pad of sticky notes that I keep over here for just reasons like this. Alright, so 35 squared plus... here, this point, this one was like 21, yeah, plus 21 squared will equal x squared. The reason I'm doing this is you can't just count the blocks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and get an exact hypotenuse because they're weird. So the better thing to do is actually do a little bit of math. So now I need to grab out my calculator. Alright, thanks for coming for a bit, Ari. Sorry, it was the boring part of the stream, because this is all of my planning stages stuff. I'm not doing anything, like, pretty. Alright, 35 times 35 is 1225 plus 21 times 21 is 441, which comes out to be 666. I'm writing it down even though it doesn't need that number, and then we find the square root of that. How do I make this calculator find the square root of something? There it is. Square root. Okay. And we end up with 40.81. So I'm going to go ahead and round that to 41. We know it's 41 blocks, which is actually the entire length of my circle here. That was kind of convenient, honestly. So now that we have that, what do we do with that now? There's some... I know that was a necessary step. Let me figure out what I'm doing with it next. What's the next step? Okay, from that point, going out 41 blocks. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get close enough before I came out of spectator mode. Alright. So from this point here, we're going to count out 41 blocks. And we're going to do it out of yellow. There we go. Blink. And from there, we now... And then from that point up, we need a 41 blocks. So where would that put us? Not there. Is it in the middle? No. Where is it? 41. There. Right? That doesn't seem right. That's not right. Did I do this wrong? Let me stare at my original. This is why I have this over here. Is for me. It's honestly for me to use as a reference. And then I can figure out what I'm doing. No, it's not making a diagonal from there. Oh! I see what I'm doing wrong. I'm like pointing at the screen like you can see what I'm pointing at. I don't need from a right triangle from there to there. That's my mistake. I need it going from there to there. That is my right triangle. So, I'm a smart cookie and I know what I'm doing. Honest. I don't actually. Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll leave that there for right now. It needs to be extended out, but let me find what this is actually supposed to be. So this point to a right triangle of where it meets up with that one right here is 52 blocks. So 52 squared. And then there to there is 30. Is that really 30? From there to there? Yeah, okay. 30 squared equals x squared. Let me do more math then. $52 times 52. 274 plus 30 times 30 should be like 900, yeah. So then 900 plus 2704 equals 3604. So then the square root of 3604 equals 60. With a little bit of spare change, but we're rounding. So 60 blocks is what we're supposed to be working with and not 41. That makes a little bit of a difference. Just a tiny bit. Alright, so square root equals 60. I don't need to write it down, but I'm anal and I will write it down anyway. Okay. Bye. Alrighty. 60 blocks out from this now. Blink. This was at 41, so I just need like 20 blocks more. Oops. Okay. That's a little bit more than 60. That's a little less. Haha. There. Got it. And then the same thing up there. I need to find that point. So from here to here-ish, let's measure it. Ha! I was right. There. That spot right there. And now what I need to do is I need to draw a circle that leads from that up to that. And that's going to create, and it's actually going to go all the way over here. And what we're doing is we are making this curve right here. And it's actually the curve from that circle up there. All right. Progress is being made. This circle is going to be the trickier one because it's the bigger circles, and bigger circles are harder to figure out. What color did I do that one in when I was doing it? Orange. Yeah, I'll keep the same color scheme. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to delete it all, but you know. I promise this is the only oval I'm going to do with you guys on camera. I'm going to wing it for the other ones because I don't care that much. But yeah, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sure, why not? Is that going to be a 9? No, that's not enough for a 9, I don't think. That's not a 9er. Maybe a 7. And maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do it again. And then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll see where that leaves me. Yeah, maybe I'll do a 3 and then a 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we just have to replicate that over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I count that right? Yes, I did. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can already tell I'm doing this wrong because it is not lining up with the red. It should meet this red. So that's actually telling me that my line is coming out way too far. So that's good to know. So instead of doing another double 7, I'm going to move it to 6, and then I'll go down to 5. And then a 1, 2, 3, 4. And a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, maybe? That still feels like it's coming out just a little bit too far. So instead of having this coming out 7, we have it started coming out 6, and then do a double 6 maybe? Because it wasn't that far off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that should shorten everything here. 2, 3, 1, 2, and that's kind of meeting up with that. Hello, Altair. Welcome to the stream. I'm just okay, yeah. So what I'm building is I'm working on my Baroque architecture build, and I know it doesn't look like that because right now it looks like a lot of math and geometry, but I assure you that math and geometry is most of what builds the bones of architecture, and you have to build off of that. So this is vitally important to my build, and hopefully it looks good. Let me just double check that I'm doing all this correct by repeating my process that I did over there, over here. So I think I went out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I doubled it. 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope it turns out. I'm going to have to make an architecture tutorial on this at some point. Honestly, this is all stuff that I would normally do just like on my own, but I was finding when I was on my own, I was just like, do I want to work on this? Nah, I have other things I want to work on, and so then I wasn't getting it done, and then I keep getting people are like, when's Baroque coming out? And I'm like, oh, eventually. I am a terrible procrastinator, so part of the point of me doing this stream is to force me to actually work on stuff, so yay. But it does mean that you are along for the ride for some of the more boring parts of the actual construction process, unfortunately. What was I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Is this kind of, and then I have like a 1, 2, 1, 2. It's not really lining up. Oop. What happened? Problem is it's like right on the very edge of the, that. I almost need it to be slightly smaller. It's close. It's really, really close. Maybe instead of doubling on the 6, so we get 6 there, and then 5, and then 4. Why is that? Wait. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And then maybe we double the 1, 2, 3. And then this would be 1, 2. Ha! That's actually lining up a little bit better. Do 3 1 2 3s, or do we do a 1 2 1 2 3? So that way it lines up exactly on that edge. I like that. Yeah, let's do that. Alright. 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 and then what did I do? 3 3 2 3. That's what I did. 3 3 2 and then a 3 and then probably a doubled up 2. At this point I have my main, the part that actually matters is just that one little bit, but I'm weird and want to make sure things would line up as a proper circle. But backing up, I can already tell that that is a much nicer curve, so yeah, I'm happy with that. Honestly, at this point, I can delete everything except my orange and red lines and build an oval from it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, is we're gonna just take our black line and we're gonna start actually filling this in. Alright, once I got that filled in, I just can copy that and paste it where I need it to go. And that was a heck of a lot of work just for one oval. Hooray! Alright, now to delete everything except for the black line. Yay! Yeah. Yeah. Can I do everything except for black wool? Oh, I'm already down below the black wool. Oh, but I might hit that. Yeah, replace everything except for black wool. There. Nothing happened. Why did nothing happen? Sometimes I insert a command and it's like, yeah, that'll totally work, and then I get nothing. Do I still have a G-mask active? I did. That would do it. Stupid G-mask. Alright. I just need this oval moved down. I don't care about that positioning. This position is the one I care about more because it's going to try to mess with that one. I don't need it to be there. It needs to go down by 2. And since I have a bunch of air selected, I'm going to say -air because I don't want to carve a hole in the floor. Alright. Haha! An oval has been made! That was honestly the hardest part of this whole stream at this point. Oh, that oval is so teeny compared to this one. Maybe I should have checked my size and made sure I was doing things proportionally. Do I make this other oval smaller, or do I make that oval bigger? I don't want to have to do all of that work again. Well then. Because, looking at my floor plan, that oval is not big enough. Who wants to watch me build another oval? Just what you always wanted to watch. Why does this one look a little bit chunky at the edges? Don't know. It's not supposed to look chunky. It kind of doesn't round off very well there. Dare I do the cardinal sin of just making what I think the oval should look like and calling it good enough? Because that's not what I'm supposed to do. But I'm sorely tempted to do it anyway. I have this big pretty oval over here. Maybe I'll just make something up. So I want it to be there. That's where I want it. That's what I should have done, is just been like, just to start with, I should have just been like, okay, I need something to come out close to like here-ish, and then coming out to like here-ish, and then be content with that. Then I can eyeball it better. Sure, this is what you all wanted to spend your Saturday doing, is watching Shells flail around trying to make ovals and failing at it. How big is that? Because that, again, that seems disproportionately small compared to that oval. Let me see here what my guesstimation left me at. For one thing, it's not centered. 109. Oh, it's the end of Saturday for you? It's in the middle of the day for me, because it's like I started the stream at 2 p.m. and my sticky notes are covering up my clock right now. Yeah, go away, sticky notes. Yeah, it's like 3 right now. Really? I've spent an hour building that oval, and I'm not happy with it. I'm so sorry. That's just the way things go sometimes. Oh no. Alright. Oh, it's 10 o'clock for you? Nice. Sorry it's so late for you, but thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this. So now is the perfect time to take a little break from this because I'm unhappy with this, but let me show you some of the other things that I've been working on. So this is something I'm going to be posting to my channel eventually, but it's not going to be particularly good content. It's just something I wanted to do. I don't know how many of you watch the Life series from, it's the Hermitcraft. Not all of them are Hermitcraft, but mostly Hermitcraft people playing a survival Minecraft game. And so the series gets a lot of people who make like animations and AMVs for it. So they make like music videos for it basically. And I kind of want to try to do that. The thing is, I don't know how to animate. I know how to draw pictures. And I know, as far as what I can tell from animation, is you draw a heck of a lot of pictures, because you have to do every keyframe and then smear frames in between. I'm not going to have enough patience to do that, but I can at least do a bunch of keyframes. And so I've been doing a bunch of drawing, so, I've got, like, I don't know how well you can see this here. My camera's not updating well enough, but this is, my Etho picture. I've got like Etho and Gem, and currently I have, how many pictures do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 pictures here. It's not great because I'm going to need a lot of pictures, and some of them are composite where I'm doing several animation frames on a single thing, where I've got this one in particular. I've got Tango getting murdered by anvils and withering away, so trying to shove in a whole bunch of different pictures, and the hope is I have a music video in mind that I'm doing. It's going to be using one of my favorite songs. Unfortunately, the song in particular is like 9.5 minutes long, and I've reduced some of the musical interludes at points that I could actually just like chunk out sections of the songs. It hurt me to do it, but I needed to. But it's still 7 minutes long. But hey, I took out like 2.5 minutes worth of song, so yay. But yeah, I've been trying to draw like a madman because 13 pictures is not going to be enough to fill 7.5 minutes worth of content. But yeah, hopefully you guys like it when it turns out. That's just me doing a bit of a plug for what to look forward to on the channel. Something else I need to do is actually make what was that again? It was 109. That should be decent. I'm sorry, I'm gonna delete this oval because I don't like it. All of this hour's worth of stuff, and I'm going to just kind of wreck it here. I'm so sorry. This is why I'm doing it all in wool, is because I can just do something and then immediately kill it. Hopefully now that I've done an oval, this next one won't take me an hour to build. But yeah, the other thing I need to do is actually post more Echoes of Wisdom. I was avoiding posting it more because I posted 3 videos, and then I felt like I didn't want to just like swamp my channel in nothing but Echoes of Wisdom. So I was doing, trying to really hard to release that Zora's Domain video, and then I was going to post more Echoes of Wisdom. But I released the Zora's Domain video, but then it was like close enough to this stream and I was like, maybe I'll do the live stream first, and then I'll post more Echoes of Wisdom. My upload rate is abysmal and I apologize, but I am trying really hard. Okay. So, we have that was 109 for that, so we need to mark out our blocks again. Center point would be, for 109, would be 55, 54. Okay. It would be turned into 55 because then there would be 54 going that way. Right. So 110. Oh, because I doubled it because it was right, not on the same level. All right. To do that. And then I need to just making sure I'm doing this correctly because I figured out I was doing it wrong before. We're just gonna do quick. Okay, that's 55. And that one is 55. Yes, correct. Hooray! I did it right. So then half of 55 would be 23. Well, it would be 22 and a half, but for these purposes we're going to do 23. So this to right in the middle. Okay. There we go. And then 23. What am I doing? 25. No, it would be 27. No. Yes. 20. So 54, half of 54. So it has to be at least 25. Just to make it to... that. And so then it would be plus 2 would be 27. Right. I did the wrong one. Let's go select this one again. That one. Yes. Correct. Just to double check. That to that. 29. That's not right. No, it would turn into, I would have to do it one block more that way. Because then that would be from there to there is 28. And from there to there is 28. That's correct. Okay. Sorry. I can math in my head, honestly. So I need to do that again. There. And from there to there is also 28. Yay! Let's make more circles! Everyone's favorite. Right? Yes. Yes. Why does that say 29? Wait. There to there is 29. Why is that 29? Because I counted 1 from that when it should have counted from 0. That's why. Okay. Yay. Circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fact that that one starts with the same thing is worrying me for something that's supposed to be much smaller. Yeah, that's gonna be too big. Chop it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then a 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. I'm doing something wrong. That didn't line up at all. Not even close. Because that one's only 3 instead of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And I think I did another 1, 2, 3. Yep. And then 1, 2, and then 1, 2. And then I was trying to do a 1, 1, 2, but I don't need to if I do that. And that's 2 square. That is the squaresty square thing I've ever seen. Alright. So instead of doing 1, 2, 3, we'll drop that to being a 1, 2. And we'll go from there, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then a 1, 1, 2. Oops. Better, but not great. This is the problem with my process, is just how much guess and check it uses. I'm sorry. 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's what I'm doing here, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then a 1, 1, 2. Oops. And probably another 1, 1, 2. And then ones till it meets. Okay, is that... Did I tip the scales to be the opposite direction? I did! Great! As per usual for me. I'm honestly surprised I still have people watching this because it's not great content. Watching me make and fail circles over and over again. And this one is kind of important because that's defining the outside of my oval for that. I really want it to look good. So unfortunately I can't just fudge this one. So we're gonna have to, I think I'm gonna bump that back up to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then we'll try to go from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I think before I had... What was my issue before? Because I have... I don't know. Let me just rebuild this. It might be something I've already built. Aesthetics wins out over geometry. In my book, it kind of does because, you know, something can be mathematically perfect and still be just look a little bit off. It's one of the reasons why I actually don't like some of the let's mathematically make your perfect, you know, looking spiral. Bam! Like, I get that it's cool that there's math there behind it, but to some degrees, something just has to look good enough, and that's actually better in some cases. I tend to find that I like some of the math. I think it's very cool. And so I try to incorporate some of it, but a lot of times I'm just like, that's at a certain point it's just like, alright, it's good enough. But here, I have a circle I can be somewhat happy with. It's maybe... It's a little bit awkward through there, isn't it? I'm gonna call it good enough. Grab it, copy it, and paste it. I don't have enough time to faff about trying to make everything exactly perfect. Not only do I not have the patience for it, you guys don't have the patience for it either, and I can't say I blame you for that, so... Okay. 2 touching circles. Hooray! I don't need that anymore. Get out of here. And then I do need this coming out. I can't quite reach from there. Just jump in place for a while. Oh. Okie dokie. So now, actually I probably should have been counting that as I went through. The distance between that one and that one should be like 55, right? So we needed to go down by 55. It would help if I had the center point selected. There, 47. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 55. Hooray. Okay, so we are going to be making... No, I needed that over off of that one, didn't I? Yeah, because then I need to draw the circle up from there. That's what I need to do. Well, that's okay, because I can just go over here and say... Copy. Paste. Alright, now we have an imaginary circle that we are drawing from there to there. And I could just say, yeah, there-ish, but I'm gonna be a weirdo and try to draw another circle anyway, and I did this out of the pink wool. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sure, 7. I'm glad that you think that this is cool. This is the tedious part of building. I was going to like build cool statues with you and stuff like that, but I was like, you know what really needs done is actually making the floor plan. So you get the boring floor plan part instead. I'm sorry, but probably next time I'm working with you on this, it will be more of the actual building the cool columns and all of the cool statues and stuff. I think that'll be much more interesting to look at than just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ha! This makes a circle. You know, because you've already seen this stuff like a million times. But, I went out by 7 for this, didn't I? Does that need to be 7? Yeah, the tedious part is the hardest part to learn. That's fair, and that is one of the reasons why it is good that I'm doing this on camera with you, so that way you can kind of see what my process is for finding some of these shapes. And ovals are not an easy shape to make, and unfortunately everything about Baroque and Rococo is not meant to be easy. It's meant to be as ornate and difficult as possible. So this is just one way of figuring out how to make an oval. There are like a whole bunch of people who have different methods to mathematically find the perfect oval. And I can't tell you what all of them are because I don't know. This is just the method I learned, and so that's what I'm going off of. This is where I am always just like, yes, I like architecture, I like art, but I do not think I am smart enough to actually become a real-life architect. I just think it's fun, so... Alright, so that one was 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. How close does that go? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How is that looking? Is that going to be too big? Or is it just about right? Honestly, I just need to make it to that center line, so it doesn't have to be like perfect, but I do have to tell if this is, and I can already tell it's going to be too squared off around the edges there, so it's too thick. So I'm gonna back it off a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then probably a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna come over here and do the exact same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. And then probably a 1, 1, 2 at that point. Is that looking about right? Actually, yeah, that is. That's making a nice curve. And so I don't need to build any more of that circle. And in fact, I can make it go away because I know that the point I need is right here. Boink. That one can go die in a hole. And I don't need any of this anymore either. When I do release the world download, I'm going to keep that big one over there with all of the lines there, so that way people have a bit of a reference, because I don't know how many times I have to go, what do I do next? And then I just like fly over and stare at it, and that tells me what I need to do next, basically. At least reminds me of it. And so I'm going to do the same thing when I release the world download for this eventually, is so you can make all of your oval needs yourself. Okay, so I did all of that work just to find that point. And then this is why I need my reference. Speaking of needing to go over and stare at my reference. Okay, found that point. Now what? So that's actually the end of that, and that's when I need to draw the lines through. Okay, I'm going to try to spend less time on drawing lines this time around, because that was overly tedious. So I actually don't need the end cap here, it just needs to come out to this point, and I need to draw a line leading from here to here. And I'm going to put a G mask of air just so that way I'm not affecting anything else, and we're just going to make a line with pink. Cool. And then I'm going to turn off my G mask before I forget it again. Alright, so this one is making, again, a very similar pattern as to what I was getting before, only this one is actually, so it's a 1 2 3 1 1 2 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 1. So this is, except it just screwed up that pattern right there. And because I'm meticulous, I'm gonna go fix it. So 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 1 2 1 1 2 3 1 1 2, because I need to continue it and figure out where it meets up with that red line. So that's one of the reasons for having the pattern. Yeah, so 1 2 3 1 1 2 blank 1 2 3 blank 1 2 blank 1, and that meets up right here. Okay, and now we need to do the actual math part. So as I forgot to do last time, and I'm going to remember it this time. Just going to select you because I need you. We need to do some math. Oops. So that is right there where that lines up. As I explained before, but I'm going to explain again just in case you are new watching here, the thing that we're trying to do is actually figure out exactly how big this line is, and I can't just count individual blocks to get that number because it is on a diagonal. So in order to get the exact number, I'm going to be more mathematical about it. We have a right triangle, so then to find the hypotenuse we do this number squared plus this number squared equals this number squared. So what the results of that, I find the square root of it. So knowing, so I need to go from this block up to here is 69. Nice. So 69 squared plus, so from this block over to this block is 41 squared. 41 squared. And it will equal x squared. Technically c squared, but you know. We're finding for x. So calculator time again. 69 is 4761. I know that there's ways to actually just like insert it into the calculator, but I don't want to have to faff about trying to figure out how to make my calculator do exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm just going to insert it manually. All right. 4, 7, 6, 6, 1, 6, 4, 4, 2, and then I can say find the square root. 6, 4, 4, 2 equals a little over 80, but I'm going to round down because I can't make partial blocks. So yes, we have 80 blocks. All right, and that is important because then I can go from there up to 80. So this to here was 69, so I need to add 11 to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, right there. And that is actually where the edge of my oval is going to be, is right there, is what that tells me. It's not going to be all the way down there to make this oval. It's going to instead be there. And then all I need to do is go from the outside here up to 81 maybe? No, wait. Let me start my reference picture again so that way I know what I'm doing again. Alright, from... Yes, that outside line going out 80 blocks. That's what we're doing. So from here, we're going to count out 80 blocks, and then we'll make a big circle that goes from there to there. And that will give us the connecting line from that point to that point. This is a lot easier to do with a compass in real life, drawing with a compass, the little thing that looks like that, and you just like stick a thing down and it makes a circle. So, unfortunately, it's a bit harder to do that in Minecraft. So, alright. 80 blocks out from here. I don't want to have to draw it all, so I'm just gonna go down here somewhere. That was way too far. Oh, or is it off by 1? It is off by 1. Not far enough then. There we go. Cool. Alright, we're making a really big circle going from that point up to that point. I suppose I should make it green so it matches. This one will probably start with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll start doing that over here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can already tell that it's missing this red line, which means it's too big, because it needs to meet up with this red line right there, actually, where that yellow point is. We're trying to find that point to that point, so because this is coming too wide, I already know that this is wrong. So instead of starting with 9, that was way overshooting it, so we're going to try it with 7. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And you know, in the future, when I'm being less technical, I'm sure if I could find that even just that point and that point, I could eyeball that curve. And that's probably what I'll end up doing for most of the rest of these ovals, just because I don't want to have to go through this process every single time I want to make an oval. See, this one is going to end up having 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's like 3 1, 2, 3s in a row, which is doable, but I don't know how much I want. I like that. I didn't fix this side, did I? That's why I'm like, is that going to line up? Well, it definitely wouldn't, because this one isn't right. So I bumped that down to 7, right? Yeah. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What I should maybe do is do a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 3, and then a 1, and then a 4, and then back to 3. But I don't know if that'll push me too far out here, because that would make that there. And then a 3, and then a 2. Yeah, that pushes it just a little bit too far out that direction, because I need it to mesh up with that. So, yeah. Fine, I'll just do the 3s. It doesn't matter that much at this point. So then it'd be 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, and then 1 there. And that's all I need, and I can make the rest of my circle, well, oval from there, not circle. Good enough. And then I just need to block in my black and call it good. I might put in the black just on the ground here, just that way I can just don't have to move it afterwards. And hey, looks like it took me 45 minutes to make this oval instead of a full hour. Hooray! I did cut down on the time just a little bit. Alright. Yeah, I needed that to then connect all the way up to there, so... And that's all I need. The rest of this is all stuff and nonsense. Now keep in mind when you're copying and pasting the actual oval, normally for a circle you would do a rotate. I can't do a rotate because it does weird things. So instead I'd have to do flip commands. So copy, turn this way, flip, paste minus error. Actually, I suppose I could just do a paste error because I do need to get rid of all of that stuff. Yep, alright. And then flip, paste, flip, paste. Oval complete. Now to get rid of all of the miscellaneous stuff. Oops. just gonna say, yeah, sure, that point. Up to somewhere over here, and I'm just gonna say erase everything except for black wool. Place everything except black wool. With there. Boink. Alright. And now we can compare. This oval is a much better size compared to this oval, and so I can actually be somewhat happy with that. Now the next thing I need to do is I wanted to put 2 circle chapels, one right here and one right here, and honestly that is the entire space for the floor plan for the entirety of my thing, because I don't want to have to do any weird hallways or anything like that. This is just to show off the style. So yeah, going from there, that's still a pretty big room within a smaller room at the back. I almost worry this is still too big of an oval here, but I'm not redoing it, so there. I think the tricky part is trying to figure out where to put these circles so that they line up nicely here, because I'm going to, it's not, the center of it isn't going to be, you know, straight off of here. I have to find it on this curve. So I can, like, say, I want it to be like that. But that doesn't draw lines for me. Yeah, that is a tricky thing to line up on right here. Because it's going to be something like, this might be a center point, maybe? Because it's, well, do I want it to, it's going to mesh with that. Let me put this all in red wool while I'm thinking about it. So I have to figure out where the edges of my circle are going to go. It's probably going to be like, oops. Something like here-ish, here-ish? No, that doesn't make a circle. It's gotta... the edge of the circle will actually come out down here somewhere, won't it? In order to make the curve up there, and then it will probably want it down here. So that way it comes into the curve more like there-ish. But I do want it to meet there. But then that will go and splat into that one. I move that 2 blocks. Poof, it disappears. Sometimes the G-mask does, I understand why it did that. But I'm just like, Kurt, I wish it didn't do it that way. Can I tell it to move everything except the black wool? Oop. No, that doesn't work. Darn it. Don't know how to make it work for me. Okay, well, I guess I just build it 2 blocks over. That's what we do. So that way it's like on that. On this curve right here. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's what I needed to do, is just start with the 45-degree angle and try to build from there. And then it'll probably be like a 1, 1, 2, then a 1, 2. And then a 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, sure. But then it cuts into there. It's too big. Okay. What if it is just 2, 3, blank, 1, 2, 3. That works. 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, blank, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, blank, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I did it! Hooray! I've haphazardly made a circle, and it kind of actually worked. It's a little bit of a diamond-y circle. It's not perfect. Does it have to be perfect? No, what does it? But it gives me an idea of where my center point is going to be, if it's going to meet up with these. So I could just build off of this one. So let me redo this angle a little bit. If I say, delete this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then 2, 1, 2. That's a nicer circle, and it overlaps, which is actually better for what I want. So let me just imitate that over here. 1, 2, 3. It's just a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 4 ones. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's a much better circle. So 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Haha. Behold, a circle. Hooray! And then I copy that and put it over there. And I think at that point, I just would have to, do I want it to overlap that badly though? Because I still need to find places to put pillars, but I suppose the pillars would go in this segment right here. Yes, that is correct, Shells. That's what I want. Okay, cleared that up. That is such little tiny circles, honestly. I thought it would be bigger. I think that's too small. Compared to this and that, I actually need it to come out more. So it's going to come out more like that instead of like that. So while this was great that I made this circle, it's too little. Darn it. Some of my trial and error would be, well, not trial and error, that's the wrong phrase. Some of what I'll have to do is actually figure out a better method than just testing it, and then I can explain how exactly to find where the circles line up properly. Something that would be better, actually this might be a better thing to do. Exercise in futility. I honestly, that's what 90% of this stream has been so far, is I build something. No, that's not right. I'll build it again. Oh, it's still not right. And we're left with all of this effort for some vague outlines. Yes, we're winning. But I'd rather do it with wool and vague outlines than do it with an entire build and then be like, you know, that's not actually right. So I have a better idea for how to do this. How about I build a circle the size I want it to be, and I don't care about these guys, and then I shove it until it gets over there. That might be the better thing to do. So to make this relative in scale, that one was like 100 blocks, that one was like 170 blocks, so I don't need it to be quite 100 blocks, I don't think, because that's the elongated side of things. But a good, like, yeah. That's not helpful, I know. Maybe let's try, like, see how 59 blocks across looks. I'm glad you guys believe in me, because sometimes I don't believe in myself. But, you know, that's okay. So if this was 59, a circle of 59 blocks, let's see how big this would be. That's 23, 39, 52, getting closer. There we go. 59 blocks. We're just gonna say set blue. How does that look comparative to these guys? That actually looks a little bit too big, maybe? Maybe not, actually. That might be about the right size, actually, because I have to remind myself it's going to be more like there-ish. Maybe that's what I need to do, is actually find my corner points and then work from there. So yeah, that block right there should be kind of where it lines up, right? Maybe? I like the 59 blocks though. That seems a much better size. I'm just gonna try rough-estimating where the edge of this is going to be based off of this. If my eyeballs do not deceive me, then we're probably going to be at the edge somewhere around here. Yeah. And we'll count out 59 blocks from there. We can delete these ones. Go away. Alright, so from this guy, out, further, still further, closer. Cool. So then half of 59 would be 24. No, 25 would be half of 50. Sorry. And then plus 4. This would be... No, it can't be 29, can it? Might be 29. Because it would be 28 plus 28. would be 56. So then plus the 2. Brain's not working. Let's just actually measure it, see what happens. Yeah, sure. That point, let's say my gut says 29. If we do that, it's 29, and then all the way to that point, is that also 29? No, it's 31, so I'm wrong. Okay, good to know. Maybe 1 over. So that cancels each other out, right? U to U is 30. To U is also 30. Perfect! Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Okay. So then this needs to be from here out would be 30 blocks. Cool. Is that going to interfere with anything? We'll find out. And if it does, we'll move it. Just making sure that one is selected, yes. Ah. Cool. The worry is I have it too close this way. I can already tell that's going to run into that. Can I do a G mask that is everything except black wool? I can. Alright, now I can leave it alone and not have to worry about it. Because yeah, now if I build my circle, I can then move it at my leisure. Okay, so let's maybe build this curve on a side that isn't going to interfere with that at all, so I can just ignore it for the moment. 5, and then 4, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. This is going to be wrong, I can tell already. Yep. Okay, I think 5 is too much to start with to begin with. Let's start with 4 instead. Oops. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll maybe do another 3. And then a 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's see where that takes me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. And then it would be probably, that's looking better. 1, 1, 2. And then cross the bridge. Yeah, there we go. That's a proper circle. Yoink. Yoink. Behold, a circle. And look, it's only off by a little bit. It's meshing just a tiny bit. I bet if I bump it just, and it's not meshing over there at all, so if I bump it just a little bit that way, like 2 blocks that way, that might work. I almost wonder if I can squish it that way a bit more. I'm just selecting this whole region so that way I can just move this circle around without having to reselect it. Let's try moving it 2 blocks that way first. I said everything except black wool for my G mask. Why did it do that? Did my G mask not work? I'm not sure. Did my G mask not do exactly what I wanted it to? Am I not understanding how this G mask works? What did that do? For some reason it's moving, but it's leaving that there, so then I just have to erase the black again. Guess that's not the worst result. That actually wasn't too bad. How many did I do for that? 10. Holy cow. Maybe like 5? Ooh. Ooh, nice. And then maybe move like because that's meshing, it just needs to move diagonally that way. So instead of moving 5, we're going to move it 4. And then we're going to move it up 1. There. Now I just have to delete all of the black nonsense, and if I can tell what's was originally there and what is there now. Curses. Alright, fine. I'll delete it from this point. Good. Oh, I do really want to move it 1 more that way, though. Can I? Oops. Can I say move minus black? Well, I don't think I can. It doesn't. It doesn't do it. There is this, minus M, and then the mask. Oh. Let's try that. Minus M, black wool. Ha. No, it didn't do it. Darn it. What did it do? Oh, it only moved the black wool at that point. Hooray! It means that my blue lines are no longer necessary, but I didn't want them anymore anyway. Haha. Should just like select this and say replace blue with air, but I'm going to manually destroy it anyway. But, you know, after 2 hours of work, I now have some ovals and a circle. Aren't you so proud of me? Yeah, I think that's a much better size for that. I just copy and paste that And something that we're doing here is, if you remember how a standard cathedral is in a plus shape, well, they achieved this plus shape by having the overlapping ovals, and then the circles on the side still ends up making a cross here, just with this is the kind of the goal. So from the air, it would still end up being a cross once you get all of the actual building structure in. It's just a very rounded cross. And keep in mind that not all Baroque architecture is in this cross shape. I happen to like it because it showcased the oval very well. And it wasn't like... There are some that are just an oval and there's like nothing else. The rest of it is just structure off of that. I liked this kind of look where it's a little bit different. You know, I still worry. You guys are gonna string me up. I think this circle is still too small. It's comparable in size to this circle that was right there. But I think it needs to be bigger. Let me look at my floor plan that I'm staring at just to give, like, do a squinty size comparison. Yeah. Now see, something about this floor plan is it's actually laying out pillars in a much more methodical fashion than what I've been doing here. And I should probably pay attention to that at some point. You know, looking at this floor plan, here, let me pull up Minecraft again. It looks like the center of my circle has to actually line up with this. I think. No, not again. Yes, again. I'm sorry. Yeah, so see how that one's just a little bit up. I think I need to actually make it line up perfectly with that and come up with a circle that then meets at an odd angle. I'm gonna leave that one right there for right now and then try again over here and see how I feel about that. I'm sorry, guys. So if that's over there and actually lined up directly with that, we can say edge of it's probably going to be here-ish. Problem is then that it's going to like come out. This is what I'm anticipating, something that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, or that's too big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then it's just going to like inevitably run into the edge and not make a sizable enough circle out of that. How do they make it unless they just back it away far enough? I'm sorry, I'm staring at this again. Is that in line? Hang on, I'm going to use a straight edge just to line it up on my paper just to see if it is. Like a 90-degree out of it. I know I'm weird, but holding up paper to my computer screen. Yes, that is lined up where the center of those circles meets up with where the two ovals intersect. Okay. how do I do this then? I guess I back up the center far enough that it's like here instead. Seems really far out there, but I think that'll make a more dramatic cross anyway. I just don't know how to make it actually meet at that point then, because that looks like it'll be too far. I'm gonna try something like this instead for right now. Just had 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and like what? 1, 2, 1, 2. But then that would end up crossing a little bit. But then it's not far enough over here. It doesn't meet at all. It just doesn't feel right because I can't figure out how to make it meet with this oval and meet with that one with that being lined up on that center line there. I don't know if it's possible to do that. Am I overthinking this? Probably. But I want to get it right. Gosh darn it. I kind of liked doing that method where I basically built a big circle and then I called it good enough and lined it up where I wanted it to, where it met. I think I felt better about doing that than trying to do this, but I do think I need a bigger circle. So I'm just going to build a really big circle. So the other one was, what, 59 blocks? Yeah, let's go for 75. I don't know. That might still not be big enough. $75 would only push that maybe that many blocks over. And then that would put it like there-ish. Is that big enough? I don't know. Because that's only like 60 blocks across. So it would only be increasing it by like 15. But that might be okay. Let's try it! 75, sure, why not? You guys are gonna be so sick of circles by the end of this. What am I doing? Thinking of a center block. 75 divided by 2 is something. Brain no worky. It would be 30 something. 37. Yeah. Did I select this one already? No, I didn't. Good thing I... Okay. $37. Okay. And just to double check, what is the size total? 73. Shh, no one will know. Alright. Oh, that's still 74? No, 75. It is 75. Okay, good. And then that would be 38 in between. Okay. Cool. Let's make a big circle. Right. How's that turning out? Probably. Well, let me do another 1, 2, 3, and then like a 1, 2, 1, 2, and see how that's looking. Back away. Alright. Yeah, that's actually turning out to be a nice circle right there. Hooray. Lining it up is going to be a pain in the butt, but we'll give it a go. Oh, it's already a 1, 2, 1, 2, so then a 1, 1, 2. How old am I? Oh dear, you're asking a woman her age? Well, obviously, I'm still 20. Yes. No, I'm not 20. I am 32, so I'm turning 33 here in a couple months. Why is that not lining up? I did something wrong. That's not a good sign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And then 1, 2, 1. Sometimes I can eyeball them better than others. Eyeballing the circles. But yeah, I think it's just I have enough practice like making curves and circles to be able to say, ooh, that's looking a little bit too angled at one spot than another. That's actually looking pretty good. I was worried that there were a lot of ones on the 45 degree, but I actually think that makes a pretty decent circle right there. To eyeball something just means to look at it and guess based off of appearances. Copy. Rotate 90. I got black bits in there. No, go away. It's all 4 corners now. Alright, now I have a circle of significantly larger size. Now, before I start moving it in, how about I actually compare it to my ovals and see if it's a size that I prefer. I definitely like the bigger size there. Is it big enough, though? Do we need to go bigger, chat? Or do we leave it as that? I think I might be content with that. I don't want to have to build another circle. I'm tired of building circles. What kind of football field am I making? Not a good one, because football fields are not oval shaped. I guess the stadium might be oval shaped. Go big or go home. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. I think I started with too big of an oval to begin with as part of the problem. But the reason I did that was because I was estimating the size of my altar. Those pillars are for the altar. And so I was trying to, like, picture how that would fit in this space, and I thought that that was a pretty decent size for what it is. Because that's only going to be a small bit in the entirety of it. And that's why I went so huge for that oval, and that's the oval I'm using here. So once I get the floor down, I can actually just take literally that and stick it over there. Oh yes, you didn't see my Baroque build? Okay, here, I'll fly closer to it so that way you can see. This is the end goal. This is all the math and all the tedious, boring stuff. This is what we're actually building. This is going to be the altar piece for the Baroque cathedral. I am taking heavy inspiration from the Basilica of the I have it written down. Sorry, Basilica of the 14 Holy Helpers is a Rococo style basilica that I am basing most of my build off of, though I'm not doing an exact one-to-one replica. I'm trying to do my own thing, but using it as inspiration. But this is going to be my main altar piece, and there are going to be statues galore in this thing. And believe me when I tell you that this build is going to take me months. And I think that's one of the reasons I've been putting it off, is because even just building, this is a tiny thing compared to the entirety of that. And the entire cathedral needs to be filled with statues and murals. I'm going to have to do pixel art on a rounded surface for the ceilings. And it's going to take me so long to do. And I just need to do more stuff like this where I'm just like putting together pieces of it. But I really wanted to get down the main floor pattern so that way I could start planning out where are my pillars going, and then I can start planning out where is the actual ceiling going, things like that. And then I can start putting up in individual things like this. Average unemployed friend on a random Tuesday. What is that, my statue? Or just the amount of time I'm putting it in. Took to go big or go home to, literally. Oh, I am home, so you know. But I'm going big at home. I hope that it turns out looking amazing. But, you know, trying to make everything the right shape for the floor pattern. This is why I have to go through all of this tedium to get the circles exactly the right size, and why I'm going to go delete this one because it's too small, is because I want to be able to fit enough of the large stuff in. And if I make this any smaller, my statues are going to look oversized compared to the actual architecture, where these statues are supposed to, like, they're still pretty big pieces, but I cannot make detailed statues if I put the scale too small. And unfortunately, that's kind of a big part of doing Romanesque and Rococo builds. Not Romanesque. Baroque and Rococo builds is, they have very intricate artwork in sculpture and paintings and murals and things like that. So, yeah, sometimes it helps for building stuff when I have Not just, you know, it's one thing to picture, you know, something grand, and it's another thing to, like, break it down into pieces. So something I try really hard to do with my architecture tutorials is break it down into a way that people can then replicate. And something that's nice to do with, like, a build of this like scale is to just say, all right, well, this is the floor pattern. It's a bunch of ovals, which is made from a bunch of circles and some math, and then you piece it all together, and you can say, all right, from here you can say this is a column. On this column is going to be, you know, the different parts of it, you know, the base, the shaft, the pinnacle, not pinnacle, pinnacles on my head, on my mind. What is the top called? Capital. Capital, that's what it is. I know my architectural thing, but... So, but then, you know, trying to break down something this big really helps to then make the pieces. And I will say, Baroque is hard mode. Baroque is on purpose, made with the intent of being made with as many skilled artists as they possibly could. And it's no joke. So this is probably going to be like the most difficult build I will ever make. Right here. So we'll see how it turns out in the end. Oh, you're asking why I use wool? I've answered this before, but it's because it's a block that is outside of the color palette that I'm never going to use wool as an actual color palette. This is just so that way I can get outlines. And then from the outlines I can build over the top. And that way if I have to select everything and say, I'm going to delete everything made of red wool, it's gone. It's easier to manipulate that and then try to make a big intricate build and then try to manipulate it and break it up into pieces. It also helps you with the bright colors. It helps you to visualize colors and such. Uh-oh, why are you saying ouch? Did I say something wrong? How many blocks am I pushing this forward? Maybe like 10? Move 10. Decent. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm, yeah, the fact that I said that this is going to be the, oh, I see. This is going to be the most intricate build, is that better? It's definitely going to take me some time to make, but I hope that it's worth it in the end. So, you're asking why it says that, like, several thousands of blocks moved? It's because it's including the air blocks when it does that calculation. So, even though you can't see all of the blocks in the middle, that's actually calculating all of the air blocks. And not just in the circle, but also from the full selection that I'm making. So, if I were to actually put in the specification of, like, move... how much do I want to move this by? I should probably figure that out. Maybe 5. So if I were to say move 5, and then I specify -A, which stands for without the air, then, yeah, that's fine. Then you'll notice that it says only like 320 something blocks moved, and that's because that one is just selecting all of the wool. Whereas before it was selecting a bunch of stuff that wasn't wool. Unfortunately, it is selecting, also selecting my black wool here, so I have to go through and manually delete all of the stuff that's overlapping. delete this stuff. If I don't delete this, it'll just multiply all over the place, and I will have more black wool, and I will lose all of my fine work of making ovals beforehand. I'm just glad I'm able to teach you guys something. I sometimes worry that I'm... I get the, what's it called? Where I feel like I'm, I don't always live up to the expectations that, you know, people say that I'm amazing and great, and I'm just like, but I'm actually not. So, I'm still surprised that so many of you have come to support me even on just a random stream that popped up, so, yeah, I think I need to bump that over another 5. And yeah, once again, I can put in minus air, so that way it only says like 300 something blocks moved. Now we're starting to meet up with that again, but I think I need to bump it like 3 blocks that way and then push it in more. And once again, I have to delete all of these. I don't know how to make it not move the black wool. I guess I did figure that out last time, didn't I? Hang on. I forgot that I actually did figure it out. Let's make that red wool. Goes to show what I'm paying attention to. Yeah, you're watching somebody move a bunch of circles and build a bunch of circles. I'm not doing anything interesting yet. I'm not building statues and stuff, but this is important to get this right. So, see here. It was with the mask of red wool. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. And then we, oops. I ruined it. There we go. I apparently didn't have the whole thing selected. Let me just make sure that my selection, I have to make, oh, I keep doing that. Trying to select a large enough region so that way it doesn't do that where even though I'm moving the circle around, it should still get the circle even when I'm moving it there. Okay, let's try this again. That's good. Move it 3. Why did it break? Oh, because some of it got replaced. I see. I think this is a 1, 1, 2, 1. There. And then just forward 2. You're asking when I stream? I always try to make it a point of streaming the first Saturday out of every month. So that's why I'm streaming today, is because that's been my pattern recently, is first Saturday out of every month is a stream day. I'm hoping to keep that for as long as possible, so that way I don't like lose momentum on that. And I know it's not like I'm streaming every single week. I know it's just once a month, but honestly, that's when I'm streaming, I have to set aside several hours where I could be spending it with my family, and instead I'm having my husband watch the kids while I'm doing this stream. And you know, it's doable, but it is, I can't do that constantly. I do have yeah, I have a life. For those of you who don't know, you'll probably hear me say this repeatedly. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 2 kids. My youngest is 1 year old, just a little over 1 year old. My oldest is 6. So the 6-year-old goes to school during the day, which is great because then I'm just dealing with the 1-year-old most of the time. But it's still a 1-year-old keeps you busy, let's just say that. She does go down for naps every single day. But does my kid like Minecraft? Yes, he does. And he likes to let's do a flip first, then a paste. Sorry. Yeah, he likes to play Minecraft. I do have to kind of set aside, if I'm playing Minecraft with him, I have to be in a completely different mindset in order to play Minecraft with my 6-year-old as opposed to playing Minecraft for myself. And sometimes with a 6-year-old, it's just like, oh, we're building a water farm for some reason. What's a water farm again? And he goes, oh, well, it's obviously like where you get the water from. And I'm like, great. Yeah, so I don't know. I have to be in a different mindset in order to play Minecraft with my kid. But we do play Minecraft, and the other thing that I end up doing is, I have to do things like, well, for instance, it's almost October, which means it's almost Halloween time. So this is like prime time for me to then spend a bunch of time trying to make Halloween costumes for my kids and myself. So I'm at that point where I like to try to make ones that set. Now, see, look at this shape. Isn't that so much better of a size comparison? This to that. That feels so much better. I'm happy with that. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I try to make Halloween costumes that are matching Halloween costumes. And my son is a really big fan of Legend of Zelda because I got him into the Legend of Zelda games. So for like the past 2 years, I've done Legend of Zelda themed costumes, where like last year I dressed my baby up as a Korok because she was adorable in her little onesie with a little leaf on mask on her front. And, oh, it was so cute. And then I do the Princess Zelda outfit. I made a Ganondorf costume for my husband. So my son has a whole bunch of just regular tunics that for a while he would wear them every single day. At least until he went to preschool and they were like, no costumes. It's like, well, fine. Public school kind of ruined that, but he used to wear them every single day. But then I had to make, he really liked the Fierce Deity character, so suddenly I made a Fierce Deity costume for him. Then last year he ended up doing a full Breath of the Wild Link. No, it wasn't Breath of the Wild, sorry, Tears of the Kingdom. It had the Zonai arm. So I did full Tears of the Kingdom, the hero's tunic bit for him. And so I usually go all out on doing like crafts and activities for the kids. That's just Halloween costumes, but I also plan like birthday parties and stuff like that. So I guess my goal is to be one of those cool moms that does crafts and stuff and also plays video games with my kids. Alright, so now that I've actually finally got my circles in place, I should start trying to, yes, this is the peak of Minecraft right here, making a whole bunch of 2-dimensional shapes here, and something I could have probably done all of this in like a paint program and then just implemented it in, and I'll probably mention that as like, if you're really struggling with this, there's an ellipse tool in paint. You zoom in really far and just kind of go bloop, and then it makes an ellipse for you. Um, but you know, this is me trying to do it in game for you guys, so that way you can see what it looks like. Aren't my circles lovely? Oh, it's the peak of Minecraft right here. It's the absolute best. Yeah, for those of you who are just joining, let me go back to all the pretty stuff over here. This is the goal. The goal is to do stuff like this in the circles. So at this point, I think you all are sick of circles, and I think what I want to do is start actually laying down a floor. So I get to actually fill in my circles with stuff. And so let's go ahead and take a look at, my... Yeah, so the doing the pillars is going to be part of the tutorial for the Baroque stuff. It's honestly, the basics aren't that hard. I just made a 3x3 thing, and then I went up with a bunch of, with slabs to make that, and then I put on the base, the pediment, and then a capital up on the top. The statues is probably the hardest deal to make, and then just trying to texture everything, color everything, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, I have two different kinds of pillars. My sister pointed out that because of these white bitsies, I was trying to make a scroll at the top here, but it ended up, because of the white, it kind of looks like a clown face, where it looks like eyes, and then a nose. And so I kind of changed that to this over here to then make it look a little bit less like that, and I forgot to implement that everywhere. Yeah. Oh, is that how I did it? No, it's not. I did that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I just need to make sure it does that all the way around on the... Go away, clown eyes. Alright, thanks for coming to the stream, Songum. Oh, I already changed them all on that one. Cool. Why do those ones not look right? Because I didn't do it right. Face inwards, not outwards. Did I do that on all of them? I sure did! Yeah, when I'm doing the tutorial, I think the main thing I'm gonna say at the very beginning is just like, do you like doing really fine, lots of really fine, tiny details and spending hours on that? And do you like making organic, flowing shapes? Then this is the architectural style for you, because it takes an awful lot of that to build all of the statues and stuff. Basic history lesson, and I'll cover this in the tutorial video as well, is that so the Baroque stuff came after the Renaissance. The Renaissance was a whole bunch of people who were like, okay, we're breaking away from the church a little bit. There was a separation of church at that point, because before, the church basically ruled everything. The Catholic Church was lead of everything. So then when the Renaissance came, people started pulling away, and they started valuing the man over God. in some regards. But, pros and cons of that is, they had, how do I phrase this? This is stuff that I'll come up with when I'm actually writing the script. The good parts about it is that people were able to assess human knowledge and build off of it. They started going, instead of every single cathedral going over the exact same floor plans and designs, they decided to break away and do their own thing. And so you had a huge breakthrough in a lot of art during the Renaissance era. Immediately after that, Baroque is actually the church's response to the Renaissance, where they were just like, well, you see that it's good to have human knowledge, but we also have artistry, we also have power, and so the church started putting out a whole lot of their finest, they hired the finest artists they could to then create as much big theatrical builds as they could. Or even sometimes there are some smaller Baroque buildings, but what they would do is they would capitalize on that space. They would make small spaces look and seem big by doing a bunch of theatrics and things like that. So they tried to put a lot of emphasis on making your eye go up by putting beautiful murals up top. They tried to take what was, instead of box, they tried to make it look bigger by turning it into an oval and rounding out the space, which is why my floor plan is going from a bunch of rectangles to instead a bunch of ovals and circles, is because that's actually how you take a certain limited space and make it look and feel bigger. And so that's what most of the Baroque is about, is trying to show as much artistry and opulence as they can, to just show off what they could do, basically. And then, you're saying it was used a lot by the nobility. Well, it started with, the Baroque stuff started with churches and cathedrals, and then a bunch of the rich people were looking at that and going, oh, well, I can do that too. And so they started putting it into, like, the Palace of Versailles and stuff like that. Also used Baroque stuff, because they were like, well, this is the peak opulence. Everything is gilded and covered in as much artistry and stuff like that. Well, I can do that too, and I have wealth, and I'm going to show it. So that's what they did, is they showed off their wealth. It goes as no surprise, to me at least, that the architectural style immediately following it of neoclassicism is they stripped out all of the opulence and were just like, we're going back to the basics. This is what makes something look nice, with as little, like, bits and bobs as possible. So they took out all of the big statues and stuff, and they just went to, this is a nice pillar, this is a nice capital, stuff like that. So, it's interesting seeing the development where people were like, let's put more artistry, more flourish into every little thing, and then they immediately after were like, okay, that was maybe too much. Let's dial it back a little bit. So, I think it's neat. I think it's it reminds me a little bit of how modern builds are going. There's a big push for minimalism in a lot of places, because people are starting to say, maybe we don't need to build McMansions everywhere. Maybe what we need to do is just dial things back a bit. Now, this is me talking an awful lot, and that's because I am thinking of wrapping up this stream. It's been a good 3 hours. I know I didn't do a whole lot. I just built a bunch of circles and ovals, but boy, is it helpful to have that, because now I can actually start putting in proper floors and then planning where I'm going to put my pillars and such. And then from there I can start designing ceilings, and then I can, once I get the structure in place, I can actually start adding in the murals, the statues, and all of everything that's going to make it gorgeous and pretty. Um, so, thank you everyone who was willing to come. I'm just gonna frame myself in these pillars just because I think it uses some of this back end stuff as the thumbnail. Honestly, I am surprised at how many of you came out to watch me build circles and ovals of all things. So, thanks again for all of your support, and I will catch you all later. Goodbye! Now, where's the button to end the stream? There it is. Alright. Bye!